Hey, all you fuzzy bards and bardettes, welcome back to I Cast a Vicious Mockery.
A show about blood, pestilence, and, of course, death.
And also how to make needle-felted animals.
It is not about that, but anyway, I'm Matt.
I'm Austin.
And we want to welcome you to this amazing, incredible show of ours, I Cast Vicious Mockery.
Thanks for coming back. I know I did.
Me too. I'm here. Can you believe it? I wasn't sure.
Yeah. So, do you know what needle felting is?
No.
It's like you take felt.
Yeah.
And you poke it with these needles and it makes it fuzzy.
Okay. I follow.
That's all I really got. That's as much as I really know about it. It makes it fuzzy and then it looks like an animal.
Oh,
or you make like a stuffed animal out of it. Like I don't know. It's a thing. It's a thing people do.
Well, I have felt
at
home.
Yeah, let's teach everybody. Go get it.
All right, I'll be right back.
All right, guys. Matt's going to be right back. We're going to cut the episode here and we'll be right back.
Okay, I'm back. I couldn't find it.
Welcome back. Sorry. Yep, there was no felt.
Nope.
We lied.
It was... I definitely have it. I just couldn't find it.
All right, so what's on our agenda today?
Okay.
We gotta move this thing along.
Moving
you know what I'm saying?
along. Yeah, absolutely. Should breakneck speed right now.
Yeah.
I don't even think for a second that I forgot what you said last episode.
Yeah.
About maybe next time we'll talk about how hockey works in this One Piece supplement. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to lay it all out for you.
Yeah.
Feats.
Cool. All right.
That's it.
It's just feats. All right. So
that's it.
Conqueror's hockey.
There are prerequisite feats.
Wait. Let's describe what that is.
Okay. Yeah. So in One Piece, hockey is this sort of like a magic system, I guess.
Chi. It's chi.
Yeah,
It's just chi, but they use it in specific ways.
Right.
They call the one thing is called armament hockey, which is when you like put the hockey on your skin like lotion and hit things with it or get hit with it.
Right.
Am I right?
Yeah. And it doesn't hurt you as much.
And it doesn't hurt you as much or it hurts the other person more.
Right.
That's one use of it. There's another use. There's one that's like the Spidey sense, I think.
Yeah, you sort of like...
I don't remember what that's called, but it's called something.
Well, they introduce it in the Skypia pretty early on. They introduce it. And they called it... Because I haven't gotten that far yet. They've mentioned the word hockey once where I'm at in the series. Reading it again. But... oh boy, I really can't rememra what they called it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, yeah.
And then the third type is called Conqueror's hockey, which gives you an aura of oppressive might, which causes people around you to faint.
Right. If they're
not strong enough.
If they don't have a strong enough will, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
And Luffy, the main character... This isn't really a spoiler because this is an attribute of his character and not like a thing important to this story. It's important to this story. So anyway, he is one of the rare people who can use all three kinds. Apparently, that's not a very common thing.
Oh, really? So somebody could use hockey, but not very many people can use all of them.
Yeah.
Interesting.
He also barely seems to realize that he can do it.
Yeah.
Later on, he gets it. But then he... In classic Luffy fashion, he just brute forces his way through things, and so he doesn't really learn how hockey works. He'd be so much better at it if he did.
Right.
He usually just loses and loses and loses, and through sheer force of will, eventually he figures out the right way to use his hockey or whatever he needs to use to win. Like he learns all of his lessons the hardest way.
Right. Yeah. The hardest way. Exactly. Nobody. Yeah. He never really has a teacher. Nobody teaches him anything. He just kind of figures it out by struggling his way through.
Well, he does have teachers actually.
Well, okay.
But they try to teach him, but he doesn't listen.
Right. He doesn't do what other people tell him to do.
Right.
But that's also an endearing part of his character.
Right. Yeah. It's an interesting thing. It's easy to relate to him because, I mean, who has ever, how many people out there have just never struggled in their life? Right?
Yeah, right. That's
and
true.
If you can struggle and end up like Luffy, being the king of the pirates, obviously.
Right.
Then that's pretty good. You know, and like, I don't know, the way that he does it, his approach is not to shun struggling. He just embraces that and he goes for it. And yeah, I think that's why it's so endearing. Like, we all wish that we could have his attitude.
Absolutely.
But seeing somebody have that attitude is also inspirational, and it makes you feel that way as well. So I don't know.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
We're in danger of making this episode about One Piece completely again, but
yep, we gotta
last note.
On to the next thing.
Wait, hold on. Last note.
Put the stamp. I already stamped it.
No, okay, but I haven't stamped it.
Okay.
I'll stamp it in a second.
Okay.
Hockey in the supplement. So there are certain the Conqueror's hockey is like super strong. So what they did, really all of them are. So what they did was they tiered them. So there are actually 3 tiers, and you have to go in that order. So you can't get the third feat unless you get the other ones first. And maybe it's not 3 for all of them, but like basically, if you took them all as feats, you could have all of them by level 20. But you have to go in a certain order. And
you're giving up skill points for it.
You're giving up something still,
right,
to get it.
That sounds really balanced and awesome.
I know.
Very good.
I figured you'd like it.
Yeah.
Okay, stamp.
All right.
Done.
Cool.
Done. I have some other stuff. Homebrew.
Yeah. You were talking about it a little bit before the show. It sounded pretty interesting.
Yeah. So it's a bunch of monsters.
Yeah.
These are creatures. They're all mega boss types. For those of you familiar or unfamiliar with D&D, there is a system that pretty much everybody agrees doesn't really work very well. It does its best, though. It's called the challenge rating system.
Right.
It's basically a guide for dungeon masters to figure out what kind of creatures or monsters to throw at a party of a certain level. Like if there's 4 people and they're all level 5, then generally speaking, challenge rating 5 would demonstrate a decent challenge.
That's the idea.
Yeah, that's the hope, right?
Yeah.
Like probably not. Probably no one will in your party will die if they fight this thing by itself.
But any of them could.
But any of them
it could happen.
Yeah.
It'll be a struggle, and either side could technically win.
Right. But so that being said, there are plenty of creatures that are the highest character level that the characters can achieve officially in the rules is 20. Level 20 is the highest you can be. There are some people who do beyond level 20 and that sort of thing, which can be fun, but officially 20 is the highest. And most of these monsters are higher than challenge rating 20, meaning that a party of level 20, it's more dangerous than.
Wait, did you say what the monsters are?
No.
Okay,
I haven't yet.
Let's start with that. What are they? So
they're based off of the plagues of biblical Egypt. Geez, how many are there?
The frogs, the locusts, more frogs.
Yeah, 10 plagues.
There was sheep or something.
I think that was a disease of some kind.
No, you put like the sheep over your door. You hang up a sheep.
Yeah, that's like the last one.
Yeah, you hang up a sheep over your door and then you die. Or whatever.
So this is not all of them.
We've all been there.
But they have some of them. So it kind of skips around a little bit. But they're a single creature representing the plague.
No married creatures?
Yeah. Only singles. Single plagues.
You hear that? In case you're in the market out there.
That's the app that they use, is Single Plagues.
Single Plagues.
Yeah. So do you remember what the first plague is? I'll tell you. It's blood.
Does he turn the Nile into blood?
Yeah.
That's what it is? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's when he turns the Nile into blood. So this is a creature. It is a medium-sized creature. It is...
Now, do you think okay. Pause.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that the blood, like the water just turned red and it just kept flowing? Or did it get all coagulaty? Well, how come they didn't write that down? These people don't know. They don't know storytelling. They don't know detailed writing. They're not painting that picture in my head. This is a kindergarten scribble of a picture in my head. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, I saw the Prince of Egypt. So, it was pretty watery, but that's because it was also in the water. Like the whole thing didn't turn into blood. Just like a part of it did. So it was still mixed in with the water. So it was water and blood. But then Rod did the same thing. So.
Yeah, I did see him do that.
Yeah, he did that too. So.
Yeah, I saw that. All right. Anyway, yeah.
Okay, so if you haven't seen The Prince of Egypt, by the way, it's a pretty fun movie. I've seen it recently, actually. It's pretty fun. I still enjoyed it. Okay, blood. Yeah, so it has a crazy speed. Like its armor class is 18. 276 hit points. Its speed is 60 feet. What? That's fast. That's twice as fast as the normal creature.
Mm-hmm. It's about as fast as a centaur. Is that true? I don't remember.
I don't know. I don't know, actually. It's immune to poison, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks, and resistant to necrotic damage. So what does this thing do, you're asking? I know.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, it has advantage on saving throws against spells and magical effects.
Okay.
That's nice. Also, its weapon attacks are magical. Also, whenever it deals piercing or slashing damage, it recovers a number of hit points equal to half the damage dealt.
Ah, it's one of those. One of those guys, those Healy guys. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And like most healing creatures like that, unless it takes more than 25 points of radiant damage in a round.
Mm.
But that's a lot. That's a lot of radiant damage. Like, yeah. But again, a single player character of level 20 could feasibly do 25 points of radiant damage.
Oh, easily, yeah.
Right. So,
in fact, you could probably sustain that multiple rounds as long as you can keep hitting.
Right. Exactly. Blood is permanently under the effect of water walk. So it doesn't sink in water. And as a bonus action, it can use dash and disengage. Wow. Not only does it have that crazy speed, but also it can bonus action dash and disengage.
So this thing can move 120 feet per round, and you basically can't stop it. Can't do anything about that.
And if it decided to use its action too, that's 180 feet per round.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty crazy. Oh no, I lost it. Okay, it's back. It can cast some spells, only 2, but they're pretty crazy ones. Bestow Curse, Blight, Circle of Death, and Harm. Those are all, just look them up. Look up what all those spells do.
Mm-hmm.
Those are all pretty crazy spells.
Yeah.
Its attacks do 4d6 plus 8 damage. And you make a Constitution saving throw. The DC is 21. And if you fail, you're poisoned.
Ooh, okay.
And while you're poisoned, you take 6d6 damage at the start of all of your turns.
All right, so I see how this guy works. It just runs around and slashes each person one at a time, and then when they're all poisoned, they just fall over dead.
Yeah, now you can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of your turns, which is pretty normal.
Yeah, but and 21 is hard.
21 is a high DC. It depends on what kind of character it is. If you have low constitution, you're doomed.
Yep. And that's not to mention that it could run back to you and hit you again.
Oh, absolutely.
And it probably gets multiple attacks, and it can move so far. Like it can just go around hitting 5 people per turn.
Exactly. Well, it has 3 attacks. So yeah,
that's plenty.
3 attacks is enough though the average party size is 4. So yeah, that's enough.
Yeah. If it's hitting over 50% of your party per turn, I doubt that you're making over 50% of the saving throws.
Yeah, this thing's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
The other thing too is actually more so not even what it says, but what it doesn't say. Most of the time with stuff like that, it says that if you succeeded the saving throw, you're immune for 24 hours or whatever. No, you're not immune to this, even after you succeed the saving throw, which is crazy. The average of 66 is 21 points of damage. Insane.
Yep. Who's next? What are the big boys you got?
Before I move on, all of these things are legendary creatures and therefore have legendary actions and resistances too. It's just worth noting. So the second plague, do you remember what that one was?
Was that one... Was it a dust storm?
Almost. The second one was frogs.
Frogs were second.
Yeah,
okay.
Frogs were second. And this thing is a huge aberration. This
wait, how many were there?
10.
10. Okay, there were 10.
There are not 10 in here, but there were 10 plagues.
Okay.
So interestingly enough, it has a swimming speed of 30 feet, but only 50 feet. Oh, sorry. It has a regular speed of 30 feet and 50 feet of swimming speed. Okay, that makes more sense. It is immune to thunder damage and resistant to fire damage. Also has an AC of 18. Basically, the AC and the hit points are the same. Okay. It can breathe air and water. So far makes sense. When this creature or a creature under its control, that tells you a lot already, reduces a creature to 0 hit points. It does not become unconscious. It instead transforms into a mindless giant frog under the croaker's control.
There we go. All right. So we see that does it. That gives it away. That tells you what kind of encounter this is. This is a zombie horde encounter. Right. This is a it's a pandemic encounter, right? It's something that starts out small and maybe manageable, and then very quickly, as soon as you mess up, it gets real big,
real bad, real fast. Yeah. But the challenge rating on this one is only 18.
Probably on its own, but each of the giant frogs probably have a challenge rating.
Right. And I don't have the stats for that right in front of me, but
that's all right. But I mean, let's say their challenge rating is a half.
Yeah, that's enough.
So you get 2 of your party members down, it brings it up to 19. 2 more down, I was bringing it up to 20.
Especially considering that the only way to turn them back is remove curse. And if you do, it starts at 0 hit points because it was unconscious when it turned into the frog.
Yep.
And starts making death saving throws.
Sounds fun.
So it can also make 3 attacks. Let's see. 3d10 plus 6. 22 average.
Yeah, well, its damage only needs to be good enough to beat one person, though.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to deal damage.
So this creature, whereas the last one was hit as many people as you can, this one is focus on one person at a time. Yeah.
Honestly, its deal should be that it's crafty, that it uses its minions to its advantage for both distractions and for holding somebody down, right? And it takes advantage of the weakest member in your party hit points and armor wise. Right.
It also swallows creatures if it hits on an attack. Which, if you are inside of the croaker, at the start of each of your turns, you take 3d6 damage. Man, that's a lot. And there are rules there. I won't get into it, but there are specific rules about how to get out if you're swallowed by something.
Yeah.
In general.
Yeah.
It has to do with dealing enough damage to it in a single turn. I'm not sure if it's round or turn.
I think it's round.
Yeah, in a round.
Yeah.
And then, but you deal that damage, and then it has to make a saving throw, which it could very easily just save.
Right. Yeah, especially with this one with legendary actions and resistances. So there you go. Who's up next?
Yeah. This frog can use its tongue too, by the way.
Oh. Now we're talking. That sounds good.
So it has ranged attacks too.
Yeah.
Nice. It can also paralyze. No. Yeah, it can stun people.
With the tongue?
It's got a croak.
Oh, with the croak.
That does thunder damage and causes a stun to happen. Yeah. Cool. All right, next guy. This one, so we're skipping the third plague. Third plague, whatever. I think that was the dust one. The fourth plague. This is Vermin.
Oh, yeah. I forgot he hit them with 3 animals.
I know. Lots of animals.
That's so unoriginal. I guess there wasn't really much else in the desert.
Yeah. What else do you do in a desert? Armor class is 19. Oh, boy. 40-foot walking speed and an 80-foot flying speed. This is also huge. Man, challenge rating 19. And okay, this just jumped out at me. I wasn't looking at languages before. Understands Gnomish. That's the only language. Interesting.
What?
Yeah, that's you got me. I don't know why, but that's what it says. Understands,
but not that it speaks Gnomish, just that it understands Gnomish.
Well, that's interesting because its intelligence is 16, but it doesn't speak. No, it just understands Gnomish. It's immune to cold damage, and that's,
I guess,
it.
Are there pictures of these?
Somewhat, yeah.
It might not have the correct anatomy to speak.
Oh, it definitely doesn't. Look at it.
Oh, yeah, that can't speak Gnomish. Does it have telekinesis? Or telepathy, rather?
No. No, it just understands Gnomish. So it can't be surprised.
All right. I'm sorry. Who made this?
Oh, man. I don't know, because this is on Instagram.
Okay.
But the person who posted it was MonkeyDM.
MonkeyDM. All right. I'm gonna say that could have been them. Although I've heard their name before on here, I think.
Have you? It says what the art was done by. It might say at the end. No, it doesn't say at the end. I don't know. I don't know who made this.
Yeah, it's not as clear on Instagram.
No. It might have been this guy. He says in the description, he's at least taking credit for it in the description.
Yeah. All right. Well, in that case, yeah, I need to know why it speaks Gnomish.
Understands Gnomish.
I'm sorry. Yes, that's yeah. Can you tell me about this?
Yeah.
I need to know.
Why Gnomish? Do any of the... No, the other two... No. With language, the other two under languages, it's like, nah, man. They don't have language.
Can we DM this person?
Yeah, sure. Like right now?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. I've actually never done this on Instagram before.
Yeah,
message.
Me neither.
Okay, message.
All right,
cool. What should I say? Hello.
Hey, love the homebrew that you make.
Brew. Yeah. Okay.
Currently recording a podcast right now, and I got a quick question.
Yeah. Okay. That you make. All right. Currently recording a podcast, and I have a question. Uh-huh.
What's this called? What's the creature called?
Oh, Vermin.
Why does Vermin understand Gnomish?
Of the 10 he posted this a long time ago, just so you know.
Yeah.
So this is going to be extra funny. Of the 10 plagues, why does Vermin understand Gnomish.
And then maybe end with some form of flattery. Like, seriously, these things are awesome. That because they are.
It's really great. Love the it's really wait, no. It's really great is too generic. I gotta be better. I have to go better than that.
These all sound like really fun monsters.
A fan
really
of your
fun creatures.
Oh yeah. These creatures are fun and creative, and I have to know.
Perfect.
All right, send. Boom. Oh, we both follow one. We have one follower that's the same, or we follow one person that's the same.
All right.
You want to know who it is?
Yeah.
You better believe it's Matthew Mercer.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I was for sure it was going to be Tony Hawk.
Tony Hawk.
I was like, him too. What?
Whoa,
yeah.
Tony Hawk. Yeah, man. He likes Tony Hawk.
Yeah, I run like when I look when I scroll through Instagram, which I haven't done in months, but when I scroll through Instagram, I go to Tony Hawk's posts and I always see a different name there that's like some other person who I follow, and I'm like, you follow Tony Hawk too?
You follow Tony Hawk? Yeah. That's great.
And often they've actually commented too. It's not just like they're passively following Tony Hawk and doing the double tap every time. They're like, heck yeah, man.
They're active.
I'm into Tony Hawk.
Active
Tony Hawk fans. Yeah.
Active Tony Hawk. That's great. Well, let's see. I mean, this person hasn't messaged me back yet, but we'll see. We'll see if it happens sometime.
Yeah, if we get a message back, we'll follow up on the show.
Yeah,
I'm assuming that we won't today. I mean, come on.
No, I doubt it. I don't think we might not hear back at all.
Yeah, and that would be understandable.
Yeah, understandable.
That would be absolutely understandable. This is just for fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah, what's Vermin like? Anyway,
okay, so Vermin. Okay, so
is it based on Vermin Supreme?
It can't be surprised. I assume it's because of all the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Flies permanently buzz around, obfuscating everything. Oh, so everything within 5 feet of this thing is blind because of the flies. Yep, legendary resistances and legendary actions, all that same stuff. It uses something called Living Plague, and then it can make 3 attacks. Let's look at what Living Plague is first.
Okay.
It unleashes hordes of flies. Okay, within 60 feet, behind barriers and around corners. Can't regain hit points until the end of Vermin's next turn. So anything within 60 feet of it, there's no saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
If you're basically if you're within 60 feet of it, you can't regain hit points at all.
All right.
The way that it's worded, that's what it says. Its attacks do 2d10 plus 8 or 2d6 plus 8. The claw attack also, the creature makes a con saving throw, and on a failure, eggs are laid inside of it. Okay, there's got to be more to that.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So it also has 2 other things that it can do. Buzzing Death. Nice. It unleashes thousands of flies around itself. DC 19 dex save. Or it takes 12d6 slashing damage. And also has eggs laid inside of it. Okay, here we go. Hatch. All eggs laid by the vermin spawn. If they're inside a creature, that creature takes 16d8 piercing damage. Did you hear that? 16d8 piercing damage. And is incapacitated until the end of its next turn.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
It takes its entire action to do that, though.
Mm-hmm.
But still.
So it's the kind of thing where it tries to set it up on everybody at once, and then blam.
And then, wow. You see, this is creative because all of these creatures so far operate very differently from each other.
Yeah, the stakes in each battle are different.
Right.
Like the objective, you cannot, if you went in with your party and did the same game plan on all of these, you would get killed each time.
Yeah, exactly. Like no one strategy. It's the kind of thing too that you can't go into blind. You kind of have to know what these things can do before you go into it, or else there's almost no hope.
Yeah, and even if you know and you mess up once,
yeah,
or a bad roll happens, you're dead. So if you didn't know going into it, what would happen? Oh my car.
Yeah. I almost think these challenge ratings might be too low, man, because these things are, and I'm not even saying, I don't even think this is unbalanced necessarily, as long as you're clear, like this is going to be a really hard. If you like, you can, obviously as a DM, if you approach this like, oh yeah, you're just going to fight a monster now. I mean, that's not fair. But if you lay it all out and you're like, hey, listen, this is going to be really hard. I don't know. It's cool though. I like these.
Yeah.
I like all of them so far. Are you ready for the next one?
Yup.
Okay. It doesn't have any stats on this one for some reason. What is it called? Boils.
Ah.
Okay, it doesn't have any stats on boils, but look at this picture.
Ew.
I already don't want to fight that thing.
Yep.
He probably has stats on it somewhere else, but not here. So Hailfire is the next one. Yeah, that happens. That does happen. Huge. This thing's huge. Armor class 20. Hit points 391. Whoa. That's quite the pool of hit points. 50-foot movement speed. Immune. Oh boy. Immune to cold, fire, bludgeoning, piercing, slashing from non-magical. Also immune to charmed, frightened, and paralyzed. Also has blind sight out to 120 feet.
Does this one understand any languages?
No. It doesn't understand or speak any languages because its intelligence is 3. So this one makes a little bit more sense.
All right.
So yeah. A challenge rating is 23. This one's pretty intense. Oh, okay. Okay. I can tell just by looking at this, he modeled this after a Tarrasque. It isn't the same as a Tarrasque, but it's very similar because of the first thing, which is anti-magic hide, which a Tarrasque has. So it has advantage on saving throws against spells, and any creature that makes a spell attack against it has disadvantage on the attack roll. And if it succeeds on its saving throw, or if a spell misses, an additional effect may occur as determined by a D6 roll. Wow. So if you even cast a spell on this thing, it rolled like a D6 is rolled if it fails. And then let's see what happens. On a 1 or a 2, if the spell has an effect area or multiple targets, it fails and has no effect. But if it targets only one creature, it has no effect and it's reflected back at the caster using the spell slot, DC, attack bonus, and ability modifier of the caster. So same exact spell back at the caster. On a 5 or a 6, it converts some of the spell's energy into a force. Every creature within 30 feet makes a DC 22 Constitution saving throw, taking 2d6 force damage per level of the spell.
Oh my. A 2d6 isn't a lot, but you start hitting with a 5th level spell and suddenly you're getting hit with 60 damage per person in your party because you didn't hit.
And geez, imagine if a 9th level spell doesn't hit. 18 d6 damage. Yeah, that's nuts. Or half as much damage on a successful save, of course, but that's an insane amount of damage. Now, I will say though, 30 feet is not like super far, or not super far.
Well, but okay, so the way that this monster works, and I think we're starting to see it, is magic, especially ranged magic, is highly weakened against it.
Yeah.
It's significantly harder to hit with. So you want to get up and hit it with your strongest melee attacks. And yet that has, the people who do that are in even more of a hazard. Like it doesn't need to worry about you because you got your dumb wizard over there trying to shoot it with fireball over and over. And he keeps missing and hitting everybody else.
Yeah, it's everybody else instead. But I like you might have noticed 1 and 2 and 5 and 6 is all I said. 3 and 4 is nothing happens. So there is a chance that nothing will happen.
Yeah, which is good.
Right. So I like that. I like the gamble there, that it's not like if you cast a spell and it doesn't work, then it's bad for everybody. You don't know if it's going to be bad for you, or if it's going to be bad for everybody else, or if nothing will happen. You don't know. I like that. It also has an elemental absorption. So if it takes fire or cold damage, it actually takes no damage and instead recharges one of its abilities. So shooting it with fire or ice magic will cause it to recharge one of its attacks. Let's look at what that attack is. That attack is called Hail and Fire. And I get it. Hailfire. It's cold and
yeah, like Banjo-Kazooie.
Right.
You guys know out there.
Each creature other than Hailfire in a 20-foot radius sphere centered on Hailfire makes a DC 22 Dex save, taking 10d6 fire damage and 10d6 cold damage on a failure and half as much on a success. Wow. So it's like it can basically choose to do the spell reflection thing, but way more. 20d6 damage. That's insane. The average of which, by the way, is 70 points of damage total. It has legendary resistances. It can also summon an elemental. A fire elemental as one of its... No, that's not even one of its actions. That's one of its like abilities. It just does that. At the end of its turn, it just, boom. Now there's a fire elemental there. At the end of all of its turns, it summons a fire elemental.
Whoa. Okay.
Right. Exactly. It makes 3 attacks. And it has 3 kinds of attacks. The bite does 2d12 piercing damage, 2d6 fire damage. If it successfully hits with that attack, it also grapples the creature. And when when the creature is grappled, it is also restrained.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was the bite, not the claw attack.
Yeah, you said bite. Yeah,
did I say
good,
that?
You're
okay.
Good.
The claw has all of these attacks. The bite and the claw have a 10-foot reach, by the way, so you can hit far away. And let's see. Claw does 2d8 plus 7 plus 2d6 cold damage. Okay, so its claws are ice and its mouth is fire. Okay, that makes sense. The tail attack has a reach of 20 feet, 2d6 bludgeoning, DC 20 strength saving throw or knocked prone. Whew. This thing's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's really good. At the beginning of the description, I was like, hey, you know what? Contrary to what we just said, this is the first one where you could just go in blind and figure it out. But no, I don't think so anymore.
No,
it got a lot harder.
There are too many things going on.
Mm-hmm.
The fire elemental thing alone.
Yeah, you already have to have a plan on dealing with those.
Right, like that. And the hit point pool that it has, 391 hit points.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's going to take a lot of rounds. And a fire elemental every round. Whew.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
What's its armor class again?
20.
20? Okay, yeah, that's pretty good.
That's really
pretty good armor class. That's going to reduce damage a lot.
You could have like plus 12 to like plus 14 to hit by level 20, like somewhere around there, which actually makes it still more likely to hit it than not. But that's still really hard to hit.
Yeah, I mean, it still lowers your average damage, right? So you're looking at, instead of maybe 60 points per round per person, you're looking at 40 points per round per person. Or something along those lines on average. So yeah, it could really mess up your plans. Especially if you relied on a strategy that, for instance, that was you have a tanky barbarian who doesn't deal a ton of damage, but they don't need to because they attract everything to them. And you've got a glass cannon mage in the back who does a Nova round and wipes the strongest enemy, so that way everything else is easy. Like, how's that strategy going to work here?
It won't. It just won't. Like, you can't use that strategy here. Yeah.
So in order to fight any of these, it feels like you need to have a more versatile party than usual, I would say. Yeah. But like they all require you to do specific things.
Yeah.
And to avoid specific things that are kind of normal strategies. I think that gives them their high CR, aside from their stats. I think that's kind of what gives them their high CR, is that, like, if you were level 14 fighting these things, you might stand a chance against their stats, but you don't have enough different spells yet. You don't have enough options yet to actually fight them.
Right. Yeah, it's more,
even if you just scale down their levels to match, it wouldn't match.
No. Yeah, it's more about you have to be a lot more resourceful. You have to have the resources and be resourceful with them.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's where where the strengths of these are.
And this is definitely something like you couldn't go into something like this half cocked. Like, you'd have to be fully loaded.
Yeah.
And expend everything.
Yeah.
To have a chance against something like that.
Yeah. Or you could have a party full of coffee locks.
Coffee locks.
I love that name.
It's pretty interesting. Austin
it's so fun.
Introduced me to the concept of coffee lock recently.
Yeah.
And I said, no, you can't make a coffee lock.
I wasn't going to. Carly was going
to. The first thing, I looked it up, and the first part of the description is the bane of every DM's like campaign or whatever.
I will come up with other stuff to annoy you. Don't worry.
I'm sure you will. And you know what? It's okay. It's all in good fun.
That's part of the game.
It's part of the game. It's okay.
And a lot of this stuff is going to be so specific that getting around it will just be trivial. But it's going to be really fun once when it works.
It'll be fun once when it works. I look forward to that. I've been thinking a lot about the next leg of the campaign. I don't remember if I was talking to you about this or not. But the campaign that we're doing right now, I'm only planning on going up to level 10. And then I have a plan for a different campaign that's going to go from starting at 10 and going to whenever we feel like it. Whoever wants to join in on that one. But I just think that we're more than halfway to 10 at this point. So it feels right to only go up to 10. Plus, I don't have enough stuff for this campaign to go all the way to 20 anyway. Anyway, that was a long story short there. We've got 2 more of these monsters.
Let's do it.
So this guy's Nightfall. Interesting. Armor class 22. Not as many hit points at 283, but a lot harder to hit. Even 2 more, even 22, like rather than 20 is kind of a big jump. It has a flying speed of 90. And also that's the only way it can move. It only flies. It understands Orcish.
Why? Tell me about this.
And yet it has an intelligence of 3.
Oh.
But it does understand Orcish for some reason.
Orcs are dumb.
Yeah. Orcish probably isn't a hard language to pick up. It might not even be a language really at all. Who knows? It might just be like, yeah. And then you point at stuff.
Yeah. All you orc players out there.
I'm sorry, this just jumped out at me. Stealth skill. It has plus 23 to stealth.
Okay, I like that.
I'm sorry, but it has plus 23 to stealth.
So it has its proficiency bonus and probably expertise twice.
No, it just has 28 dex at a plus 9.
Okay,
dexterity.
So dexterity is the plus 9. And then expertise plus doubles that to 18. Is that right?
Well, okay. Or
does it double your proficiency bonus?
So the proficiency bonus would have to be 7, and then expertise would double that to 14 to 23. Yeah,
which makes sense. Okay, right. Yeah, that math adds up.
It does indeed add up. That's insane, though. But for some reason, it's not one of its saving throws it's proficient in. I guess it doesn't really need to be because it's already got a plus 9.
Yeah, it's already going to succeed. It doesn't matter.
Right. Anyway. Resistance
plus 10 almost guarantees success against a lot of things.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Even at level 20, the challenge rating of this is 22, by the way. And it is resistant to cold damage and immune to poison damage as well as all the non-magical stuff. It's also immune to charm, exhaustion, frightened, paralyzed, petrified, and poisoned.
Darn it. The exhaustion one? That's annoying.
Blind sight. It has blind sight to 300 feet. And like I said, it understands Orcish. Okay. It does some things. First of all, fleeting darkness. It magically teleports as a bonus action, along with any equipment it's wearing or carrying up to 300 feet to an unoccupied space in darkness that it can see. So if it's dark around, bonus action, boom. It's wherever it wants to be. There is no escaping this thing. It can move through creatures and objects as if they were difficult terrain. So it's incorporeal. While in darkness, Nightfall is invisible. So not only can it teleport to darkness, but when it's there, you can't see it, so you don't know where it is.
Not that you can't detect it, but it is invisible.
It is invisible.
And it has plus 23 to stealth. Did we mention that?
Did we mention that? The area in a 300-foot radius centered on Nightfall is covered in magical darkness. Well then, I guess it doesn't really matter. Okay, so
you can dispel that, like I'm sure.
Well, sure. Magically invoked sunlight deactivates this ability until the start of Nightfall's next turn. I hope you have a couple of people in your party that can cast that spell.
Yeah. Or you all have blind sight or something. Because invisibility doesn't work against blind sight. So that helps.
That could help. This thing is crazy already. While in sunlight, Nightfall has disadvantage on attack rolls and on perception checks. Okay, makes sense.
Okay, yep. I get the game that we're playing with this guy.
Yeah. Okay, it can make 2 Shadow Blade attacks per action. That's going to be 5d8 plus 9 slashing damage plus 2d8 necrotic. And your hit point maximum is reduced equal to the necrotic damage taken. So that's an average of 9 hit points that you lose and can't heal back to every time it hits you. It can also do something called Kiss of Death. Great. It targets a creature within 5 feet. They make a DC 22 con save, taking 12d12 necrotic damage on a failure. And they're stunned until the start of his next turn. On a successful save, it's half the damage and they are not stunned. If this ability causes a creature to fall to 0 hit points, it instantly dies.
Right. Okay.
And its soul is absorbed by Nightfall.
Ah, okay. There we go.
Which means they can't be revived unless he's defeated. Mm-hmm. I would rule it that way anyway. I mean, I guess it depends on how you want to do it.
There is a precedent for that in D&D, like soul absorption being reversible.
Yeah.
There is also the possibility that some souls which are absorbed, and maybe it says this actually here, are consumed each day.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything about that in here.
There are things like that,
yes.
Where, after a certain amount of time, that soul can't be retrieved.
But in general, usually it can be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, well, we got one more guy.
All right, who is it?
It's Azrael. Medium-sized celestial. Also has a flying speed of 90. Armor class of 23. 333 hit points. Yeah, that's funny.
Okay.
Let's get it. It's resistant.
I see what this is about.
Resistant to necrotic and radiant damage. Immune to the non-magical attacks, and also immune to charm, exhaustion, and frightened. Blind sight to 300 feet. Hey, it speaks all languages and has telepathy out to 120 feet. There we go. Challenge rating 26.
But does it understand Gnomish?
Yes.
No way. Now it all makes sense.
I get it.
Wait. No, because some of the dudes didn't understand any languages, right?
Correct. Most of them don't.
Well, no, we got 2 that understand languages.
Yeah. And the rest of them
3
don't.
that don't? 2 that don't?
Well, okay, so I guess this is 3. Well, including this guy, that's 3 that do understand languages.
I was thinking maybe this one controls them, sort of thing.
Maybe.
So like they have to know a language for it to speak to them.
Okay, Hailfire does not.
Although I guess if you have telepathy,
Croaker does not. Blood does not. So yeah, I guess it's half and half right now.
Okay.
There are 10 plagues though, and these are only 6 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it does a lot of things. Angel of Death. So when it's reduced to 0 hit points, it does not die or fall unconscious. Instead, regains half of its maximum hit points and instantly duplicates himself.
Oh, okay. It's a splitty guy.
The duplicate functions as per the simulacrum spell.
Ah.
And the copy starts with the same amount of hit points as the original. It looks exactly identical. And has access to all mythical actions and such.
So yeah, it splits every time you kill one, and then you have a bunch of them.
Recharges after a short or long rest. Okay. So
never mind. Okay, it only does that once.
So it only does that once.
Okay.
But basically, you're talking about having to kill him twice.
Mm-hmm.
Or 1.5 times if you can figure out which one is the real one.
Yeah, but you have to kill him 1.5 times while he hits you harder for the second part.
Right. Exactly. I wonder if this guy played. This very much feels like video game stuff.
Yeah.
Because like that's how a lot of really difficult video games are.
Mm-hmm.
The bosses are really hard, and the closer you get to beating them, the harder they are to beat.
Yeah. Unlike humans, for instance.
Exactly. Yeah. It's very unlike how.
Like the more one-sided it gets, the more one-sided it gets.
Exactly. So it has an angelic weapon. When Azrael hits with any weapon, the weapon deals an extra 4d8 radiant damage. Cool. Azrael is immune to damage. What does that mean? I'm sorry.
Can you give me that one again?
Chosen of the gods, Azrael is immune to damage. That's what it says.
What is that? How do you fight it?
Okay, that doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
That what does that mean?
What?
So what's the point of all the other stuff if it's just immune to damage? I don't understand. It doesn't say anything else about it. Okay, hold on. Let's look more into this. Azrael is permanently under Sanctuary spell cast to 7th level. Which basically means that if you try to attack somebody under Sanctuary, you have to like succeed a saving throw, and if you fail, you just can't attack them. And if you succeed, you take damage and attack them. I don't remember exactly how it works now. But you have to succeed a saving throw to be able to attack them at all. Oh, wow. Okay, so if they fail the saving throw, they have to target an ally as the new target. And if there are no allies present, they have to attack themselves. Interesting. He can cast a lot of spells, the DC of which is 24. Divine Word, Greater Restoration, Invisibility, Modify Memory, Water Walk, Dominate Monster, Plane Shift, Power Word Kill, Sunburst. Advantage on saving throws against spell and magical effects. When it first appears, Azrael will kill all of the firstborn of the land on a single night. Why did they have to put this part as part of the description? That's interesting. Only if a firstborn is located inside a house with mutton blood spread over the door will it survive, as the fallen angel will pass over. Okay, yeah. I'm hung up on the immune to damage thing. It's already hard enough to beat, so why include that?
Yeah.
Like why include anything about how it can like resurrect itself and all of that if it's just immune to damage?
Are there spells that can remove immunities?
I don't think so. I don't think that's
immunities. No. Sorry.
I don't think that's possible. Healing Touch. Target magically regains 48 plus 2 hit points and is freed from curse, disease, poison, blindness, or deafness.
Why?
Its attack, that's pretty low for a healing thing by a god.
Like, why does it need it?
Why does it need it? I don't know. It can only do 3 a day, too. That's weird. It has a 15-foot range with its scythe, though. 2d8 plus 10 slashing and 48 radiant. Oh, man. Okay. Mythic actions. Azrael regains 40 hit points. This is crazy. Destructive energy appears in 20-foot wide line that extends between the two Azraels. Okay, so this is assuming that there are 2 of them, right? So we've gotten that far. DC 24 con save, 10d6 radiant damage, and 10d6 necrotic damage. Oh man, it's that kind of thing again. It has another thing where it can target a creature within 15 feet, DC 24 wisdom save, or it views its closest ally as an enemy. An affected creature can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns. Remove curse or greater restoration also ends the effect. This is nuts, dude. Are you looking up to see if it's possible to take away? Yeah. Remove immunity.
Yep.
I don't get it. That doesn't make any sense. Immune to damage.
Sickening radiance.
Sickening radiance. I don't think that.
I don't know what that is yet.
What?
Dropping it from a lethal height. Oh, you can be immune to bludgeoning damage. Oh, suffocation. Aging. And wish, I guess, technically here. I'm seeing.
Okay, wish.
Aging, though.
You know what? Wish is probably the only way to do it.
Oh, and it's probably immune to aging, too.
Oh, for sure. It almost definitely is immune to aging.
I'm just gonna say it, like, just do the mutton blood thing, man.
Yeah, man. Just
don't bother with this one.
Yeah, this one is crazy. I'm so stuck on that in my brain right now. Immune to damage. How can you why would you even make a stat block for a creature that's immune to damage? I mean, I guess knowing its other stats, like its other core stats, is important, but if it's just immune to damage.
Polymorph.
But polymorph.
Oh, no. Here's their plan. Polymorph and then power word kill.
But when you it reduces something to 0 hit points.
Yeah.
But when it reduces, oh no, I'm thinking of that must be like true polymorph.
Oh, no. Yeah. Also though, so when the creature it doesn't drop to 0 hit points from power word kill, it just dies.
Oh.
So you polymorph it into a goldfish and power word kill it.
Interesting.
And it's not resistant to that.
That might work.
And that's
rules.
There it is. So that
according to the rules, that might work. Yeah.
I guess disintegrate is good for this too.
Yeah, because it's the same thing. Well, no, because it does damage. Power word kill also does damage. But
I think power word kill the wording might be that if you're under 100 hit points, it just makes you dead.
Yes, but how do you get it under 100 hit points if it can't take damage?
You polymorph it, so its maximum is under 100.
Under 100.
Yeah. Under 100.
Under 100.
Under a hundo.
It is, yeah. That's the only strategy. I mean, you just have to do that over and over again. The barbarian has nothing to do. He can't do anything.
Well, he's probably fighting the other 5 of these. Because I'm assuming that you fight them all at once,
right? Fight them all at once.
Yeah, why else? It's not like they're CR 30 or something. I'm pretty sure that CR means that if you have the same number of that, like if you have 5 level 22 players and 5 CR 22 monsters, it's equivalent.
That's even.
Everybody knows that.
Even Steven. Totally.
Very even Steven.
That's how it goes. You know so much more about D&D than I do.
I know everything about listen.
Yeah. Tell me.
Tell you what?
About D&D.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
What is it?
It's a religion.
Okay.
Founded by Appalachian monks.
Okay.
In the mid 1800s.
Got it.
And
I thought it was the 18th century.
No. Not 19th century.
The 19th century.
Right. Mid 19th century.
Mid 19th century.
No, because the mid 18th century they weren't Appalachian monks yet.
Oh, right. Now I understand.
That's 100 years before Appalachian monks. No, but when the Appalachian monks formed their religion, well, I guess D&D is like an offshoot of that. Right? Like one offshoot was hillbillionism.
That's what I am.
Right. Yeah, you're a hillbillionist. Hillbillionaire?
A hillbillionaire. Yeah, I like that better. I'm a hillbillionaire.
I'm a hillbillionaire. That's got to be a thing too.
Hillbillionaires?
They're definitely. That's.
Oh yeah.
Is that not a show on TLC yet?
Hillbillionaire. Oh man, sell that idea.
Oh yeah.
You're about to make a lot of money, my friend.
Yep.
Call up TLC. Call up anybody. Call up HGTV. Call up. No, they wouldn't take it. Call up
AMC might.
AMC.
AMC would take it. TLC.
What? No. What are all the reality? MTV would take it.
MTV might take it. Yeah.
No, they're more
Bravo?
into young
No,
people.
Not Bravo.
TNT.
TNT. Yes. TNT would probably take it.
TNT. They might take it. Yeah. I don't know where all of those kinds of shows come from. They just kind of exist in like the ether.
Yeah.
But
So Hillbillionaires is a show about some hillbillies who are also extremely wealthy because they started tech startups or something. But they don't like use technology. They're out there in backwoods shacks and they make moonshine and like that's what they actually do. They did the whole tech startup billionaire thing by accident. And now it has also made them immune to a lot of legal repercussions of their actions.
It makes them immune to the
so they start like a hillbilly mafia in I don't know. It's probably in Virginia.
What was that name of that? There was a show like way back in the day. What was it called? That was about a hillbilly who somehow came into a lot of money. I don't remember if he like inherited it or something. Beverly
Hillbillies?
Yeah, yes, Beverly Hillbillies.
Yeah, he found oil.
Oh, okay, he found oil.
That makes sense too.
That does. I mean,
let's be real.
That does make sense.
That would be a way to do it.
What you're pitching is Beverly Hillbillies, but
a reality show.
It's a reality show
and not a sitcom.
Instead of the hillbillies moving to the city, they're just still hillbillies.
Yeah, it's just they were like, "Hey, I'm rich now. Well, I'm gonna go back home and go fry up some alligator."
I don't know. There's a restring banjo. I got a lot more money now.
They just have a wall of banjos. So many banjos.
Wait, okay. This episode is way too long, but I have to tell you about how
it's not really. We started a little into there. We're good. We're okay.
We're good. I have to tell you about this guy. I don't remember many details, so I'm gonna be. This is like take this all as if it is made up. But I remember hearing about it as if it was the truth. A gentleman a while ago, like 10, 15 years ago, we'll say, won the lottery, like millions of dollars.
Right.
This happened here in the city where we live. And the rumor was that, you know what they say about like, if you win the lottery and you get all this money, you'll end up with the exact same money that you have now in like just a couple of years. Well, this guy, that happened to him. He was like dead broke. He had nothing, got millions of dollars. He spent almost all of the money, millions of dollars, on a consumable product, not consumable as in like you eat it, but consumable as in
you use it up.
You use, well, no, not even that. Whatever. Retail purchases. And a lot of the money also went to storing the retail purchases that he bought. All the same item. I want you to take a random guess. What do you think he bought? The same thing, but a lot of them, and a warehouse to store them with his millions of dollars.
Canned tuna?
No. Well, I messed up when I said consumable. They were not consumable.
It's not consumable.
They're not consumable. It's not food or water or anything.
Okay.
It's nothing like that.
Like some random product.
It's a product that
you could buy at Walmart?
Yes, you could buy it at Walmart.
And he did.
And assumably, I don't know where he bought them all, but you could assume. Okay, well, he bought them by the truckload, so maybe he got them on like Amazon or something. I don't know when Amazon really started to be big, but he bought them in bulk.
What year was this?
Yeah, like 2010-ish, maybe just before.
iPod Nanos.
Ah, man. No, think even like weird, like even less useful. Like,
oh, okay.
Well, it's not even that they're not useful. I'm just gonna tell you.
Okay.
Jeans. Pairs of pants.
Okay.
He just warehouse full of jeans. So many jeans.
All varieties of shapes and sizes, or specifically jeans for himself to wear?
Unclear. I don't know. I didn't get that detail. I assume they were all supposed to be for him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, yeah. It's kind of a sad story because before that, a lot of his money was taken from like people tricking him out of it, like particularly people who knew him really well. And then he started to get worried because he was running out of money. So he bought a big house and filled it with a bunch of like security equipment. And he rarely ever left. And then he bought a warehouse full of jeans and then his money was gone. I know it's like
he spent all that time thinking about how to secure his money, but not about how to spend it.
I guess. Again, I don't know how true any of that is. That's what I heard. I don't remember how long.
This character is definitely showing up in a campaign.
Oh, for sure.
This is a D&D character.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I brought it up. I was like, this is NPC potential.
Yeah.
Or player character potential. I mean,
technically, yeah.
Yeah, just talk to your DM and tell him very specifically that all of the gold that they're going to have at the beginning of the campaign will end up being spent on jeans.
I don't know what I just did.
I don't know what you did either. Did you do something?
I don't think so. It changed. This changed. It was just a little symbol that showed these things. And now it shows... What is this? Oh. It showed things... well, it doesn't matter. It was just a generic symbol, and now it's the weather. And I don't want that there. So
you're going to do
goodbye.
You're doing this now? Okay.
Yeah, I just did it.
All right, there you go. You just did it. Now there's nothing there. Are you happy?
Yeah.
Now it's blank.
So much better. What is this guy? Oh.
What does this button do?
Ooh, I wonder. I hope this doesn't hurt the record. Oh. I wasn't ready for it. Ooh. Oh my God, put it back. Ooh. Okay, let's go.
All right. Yeah. I hope that was fun for everybody listening to us go like, what? For like 2 minutes straight.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. All right. Great. Have a good night, everybody. Or day.
I cut it, by the way, off when we started talking about the 10 commandment guys or whatever. No.